Whoever you are listening, Spirit wants you to take your position serious. I feel like you have a very high ranked position, okay? And either you're not taking it serious enough, or either it's time to get serious, right? It's like this is not a small role that you are playing, is what Spirit is saying. I don't care if this is a work position, I don't care if this is a position within your household. If you're a mother, take it serious. If you're a father, take it serious, right? If you're a boss, take it serious. Whatever you're doing, this role is something about a role that you are called to do, like, right, like being a parent, that's a calling. That's what you can't escape that. Take it serious. If this is something that's work and this is your actual calling in your career field, you need to take it serious. I don't care if it's you being an entrepreneur or if it's you being in the corporate field. You have a certain position. I'm here and play your position. Everybody has a position to play, and Spirit wants you to play your position. It's like Spirit has given you this position, so don't it's giving me, don't it up, don't mess it up. It's like you need to know who you are. You don't play yourself small. You can't play yourself small. It's like Beyonce knows she's Beyonce. That's funny because Beyonce knows, right? It's like you have to know who you are. Okay, you have to walk like that and talk like that. If you're the boss, then be the motherfucking boss. Period. Right? It's like you cannot be afraid, and shy away from this position that you're in or that you're stepping into. Okay, this could be a position that you're stepping into. For some of you all, there could have been confusion around what position or what role you're meant to play. You know that there's a role that you want to play or that you're supposed to play, but you didn't know what it was. Well, that's becoming clear to you now, and you need to step into it. But my point of saying that, it's like it may be something that's new to you. It may be something that you're not used to, right? And so it's like you have to adjust. You're going to have to make some adjustments, especially in your area of self concepts and the way you see yourself, the way you view yourself. It's like if you were, I'm hearing fooling around, fooling. Oh, God, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't. I'm gonna get the name of this. Who sings it? But let's say it's like Spirit is saying. Let's say if you were fooling around before, changing faces. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Yes, because you're changing faces. Anyways, if you were fooling around before, Spirit is saying tighten up. It's time. It's time to tighten up. Okay, and so you're gonna have to make some adjustments. That could look like you having to get a schedule, right? That could look like you getting routine. You need to set some type of routine because you're in position. You're in a position of leadership. People are looking to you with whatever this is. Again, Spirit used that example for a reason. You're changing faces. I feel like it's time to change your face. It's time to change the way that you view yourself so people can view you differently, because it's all projection, right? So what are you projecting out into the world? And if it's like you have to get comfortable being confident. A lot of people are not comfortable really being in a powerful position, but you are called to power. I'm hearing you're called to rise. So it's time for you to switch up and shift into this role and play your part, and play your part very well. I'm getting acting. Some of you guys may be actors or actresses. It's time to play your part well. Act the part until you get comfortable with it. Okay, let's say if this is something where you're not used to being a manager and you're being promoted to some type of management position, right? Whether it's a new position or from within the company you're already working for, you're going from being an employee to the manager, right? It's like Spirit is saying you're going to have to get used to telling people what to do and leading and being a leader. Not everyone is used to being a leader that's listening, but you know that you are called to be a leader. So you're going to have to take on those leadership qualities and those leadership skills, and you're going to have to learn that. You guys may need to take some extra classes and on leadership, right? I have my degree in organizational leadership, so I'm very well equipped when it comes to the roles of leadership, right? Especially within organizations and how to run, how leaders are meant to be within the organizational setting, right? But still, just your character, even outside of the organization, it's kind of like even when you're not in that position, so to speak. Let's say if you're a mom, you're a leader. If you're a dad, you're a leader, right? But when you're out with the girls, or you're out with, doing your own thing, having your own date night for yourself or whatever, right? It's like you still represent that leader. Not saying you can't let your hair down or have fun, or do what you want to do on vacation, but you still have to remember that you're a person of position. You're a person that is in a position of authority, so you still have to, act accordingly. There's still certain boundaries that you can't cross, that maybe you were used to crossing because you weren't in this position. And maybe it's so easy to be like, man, I want to go back and get sloppy drunk, or I want to go back and hang out with these people, or Spirit is saying, no, 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 no. There's things you just cannot do anymore. And that's where those adjustments have to come in. Letting go of the things that could have been, keeping you trapped, or keeping you, stuck in a certain position. Spirit is saying, no, it's time to rise up. Falcons energy, Atlanta energy. Okay, it's time to rise up. I'm also getting, it's time for a city to rise up. So you could be in a city that's currently rising up. It could be Atlanta, right? That you're currently in. I don't know why that energy is here very, very heavily, but it's giving me community energy, community vibes. And it's giving me you're meant to lead a community of people. That's ultimately what it's saying. You are meant to lead. I'm also hearing Colorado, Denver, right? It's like you're meant to, I'm hearing escape as well. So maybe these are places you need to escape from. I don't know. Out of the cold. Okay, I'm just channeling messages. It's going to mean something to somebody, but it's time for you to rise up and be called to where you can lead a group of people. Some of you guys are being called out of certain positions that you were currently in, so you can rise in power in this new position that you are being put in. Okay, you could be being called to different platforms. You could be called to show up in a different way. You could be called out of a city to go to another city, right? Or however that works out for you. It's like you're being called from a place of lack, or a place of being out in the cold, or a place to where you weren't in this position that you are stepping into. If you're stepping into it, that means you weren't in it before. You may have been being prepped for it, but now it's the real thing. It's like you were being trained, but now it's time for you to actually step into this leadership role. And it's a very, very high position. I also heard a high paying position. So somebody is definitely getting paid very, very well for whatever position you are being put in, whether this is a corporate position you're being put in, or whether, Spirit is placing you in this position, and whatever it is, Spirit is going to be the one to fund you. Okay. But you're definitely being called to set some type of routine at this time. You're definitely being called, I'm hearing, to wear your cape. It's time to wear your cape. It's time to speak up, okay? Any type of back and forth type of energy, juggling energy, being double-minded, you have to cut that off. You have to be very, very serious at this time. Sometimes you're going to be very serious in a masculine way. Sometimes you're going to be very serious, but in a more feminine way. But both ways you're being very serious is what I am picking up on. So it's like meaning the masculine way, being very, very routine. Right? It's like having that schedule. It's like same thing over and over for sometimes, right? Even though each day is different, it's like, okay, let me stay on point. Let me stay on schedule. Let me make sure I'm sticking with my exercise. Let me make sure I'm sticking with, eating the same way. Let me make sure I'm sticking to, my work schedule properly, especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? Showing up for yourself. That's that masculine energy. But in the feminine way, the way that you're speaking, you're going to have to be, maybe serious the way you communicate, and so forth. You don't have to be very, you can be stern, but you can do it from a more feminine way. And it doesn't matter who's watching, their energies that I'm referring to when I say masculine and feminine. But you're going to have to know when to be in each energy while you're in this position. And again, you're leading other people. The community is people. And that's a very, very, very big position to be in, where people are going to be sent to you, is what I am hearing, right? So whether I'm hearing tech, so it's giving me, I'm seeing an office building. So some of you guys can work, I ain't been in an office building in eons, but the service desk or whatever, you can work in tech in that way. Oh, where you have to, have service tickets and you're helping fix people's computer issues and all of that type of stuff. It's like, but people are being sent to you, whatever this is. If you're management, people are looking to you to solve certain problems. And let's say this is spiritually. You could be a spiritual guru in some type of way. And either way, spirit is sending people to you because you're the leader, you're the master, you know what to do. Spirit is saying, do you trust yourself? I think that's been a thing too. You have to get serious about trusting yourself. Do you know who you are? Are you truly ready for this position? Mentally, are you really ready for the responsibility of carrying a whole community on your back? That's what I'm picking up on. And I see you're leading people to victory is the energy that I'm picking up on. It's like spirit is sending people to you because you know the exact thing to say. You know the exact thing to do. I'm hearing you know exactly where it hurts. It could be a doctor type of energy. Okay. Some of you guys could be professors or being called to go back to school to get more information or just to study more, right? Is what I am picking up on. But I definitely feel like whatever this is, like you're definitely being put in this position for a reason because you're ready. Because you're ready, even if you think you're not, Spirit says they're moving you forward either way. So I'm hearing over the next couple of days, you're going to see how Spirit is placing you in a certain position. Some of you all may be scared of making the wrong decision. You guys could be, suffer from, what do they call it? Imposter syndrome, or you may suffer from making decisions. Okay, you may be very indecisive, like, well, do I or don't I? Do I or don't? Spirit says just choose, and once you make that choice, Spirit is going to auto correct you if it's not what they want you to do. Yes, you have free will, but you're still going to be on the path of using your free will, and it's going to be put in front of you what you're meant to do. And then out of your free will, you're going to choose that because they're going to keep showing it on your path. So your free will is going to say, I want to do that because it keeps showing up in your path. So no matter what, you can't make the wrong choice. And you may feel like, well, dang, I'm delaying. I could have been there quicker if I just would have chose the quote unquote right choice from the beginning. If they have to auto correct me. No, you go down the path that you go down so you know that that's not it. Sometimes you have to go down a path to know that that's not what you desire. And then what's really meant for you will show up. And now you have the experience of going down that path. So all you're doing is collecting experiences is what I am hearing, okay? And I feel like it's giving me, again, you're leading a community of people, to the promised land. It's like you're a modern day prophet, right? You're a prophet for these times, prophetess, right? You're a high priestess, okay? You're a shaman, whoever you are, you're meant to lead people. And even though I'm talking about work and career and so forth, there's still a spiritual aspect. I don't care if you are in the office. You're in that office as a nurse, as, again, a physician or a nurse practitioner, or you could be in law enforcement. You could be a lawyer. You could be a hairstylist. You could work at a gas station. It doesn't matter. You're in that position still because of who you are spiritually. But a lot of the positions, if you're in, let's say if you do work at a gas station, there's more for your life than that, especially if you're spiritual. You are spiritual because you're tapped in listening to me. So that being said, you working at that gas station was only because you were still on your spiritual path, still serving other people, but you move where Spirit tells you to go. That doesn't mean that you're living in lack. Even though to society standards, and I just did another message about society standards. So go listen to that one. About you spreading your messages to the world. To society standards, it may seem like, oh, people may disregard you. You may disregard yourself. That's why your self-concepts and you changing faces is very important. Even if, no matter what position you're in, even if it's considered a quote-unquote low position, you have to hold yourself at a high regard no matter what, right? But even if to people, it's like, oh, you're in this low position. No, you have a very high spiritual ranking and you go where Spirit goes. And you get certain experiences, including quote unquote lack experiences, because there really is no lack, right? But we're born and programmed to believe there is. So we go through certain experiences, of going without or having certain relationships that are unhealthy for us and so forth, because it's a spiritual experience. Again, we're collecting experiences because we're leaders. And leaders have to have experience. So Spirit is going to take you down different paths so you can get the knowledge and the experience so you can then lead the people who you were called to lead. And even if it wasn't a specific group, you've always, I don't care where you were working, if you've had 20 jobs in the last 6 months, you were still leading people. It may have not have been in a collective like, oh, I have this business and I have, this collective on social media and, found in one place, this collective of people in one place, or this building like a church in one place. No, you were leading people, but you were leading them individually. So don't ever doubt the path that you've been taking and make it seem like your leadership was just less than what it is. If you worked at a job, let's say using a gas station, for example, or a corporate office or Amazon, whatever, all those people, all the employees that were there, even if you were quote unquote only a clerk and not management or anything, you were still leading those people. They saw your actions. They saw how you would deal with customers. They saw how you deal with other employees in the building at your corporate position. If you worked at Amazon and you were a delivery driver or something like that, or Uber or rideshare, whatever, DoorDash, I don't care. You were dealing and helping and leading people individually when you came in contact with them. Maybe not every delivery or every person you picked up or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of times, you were there to have a certain conversation with certain people, or to, have a certain interaction with this person and give them their food. And maybe they told you a story and you were meant to have that story because that's part of you collecting your experiences so you can tell other people as well about other people's testimonies. So just because it wasn't a solid group where they can meet at 7:00, or they could come to your YouTube channel or your TikTok channel or whatever, your social media channel. Maybe, y'all don't even have social media set up. So you feel like, well, I'm not really leading anyone. Just because it wasn't a specific set up group like that doesn't mean you still weren't leading people. But it's being taken to another level at this time. And I feel many of you all are going to be caught in positions to where it actually will be thank you, Spirit. It actually will be a structured group. However you decide to structure that, however you and your spirit team decides to structure that. But you're being guided into this higher position, away from, having to be a delivery driver or a store clerk, or some of you guys are being called out of corporate. Check the climate of what's going on in the world today. Everyone is being put in position. And the position that y'all are being put in is a higher position, because there's a whole lot of people, especially for my spiritualists, that are waiting to come to you. Those that are service providers. If you are in the hair industry or the beauty industry, or in any type of personal development at all, or anything where you help people to better themselves, where it's better in their image, or you could be a photographer, any type of service industry, right? It's like you're being placed in higher positions because bosses nowadays, that are all plastered all over the news, or celebrities and so forth, even though a lot of them may still have had many spiritual experiences and so forth, they're not leading people spiritually. They're leading people with entertainment, but spirituality isn't the forefront. So you're going to be leading a lot of celebrities and people in high places in other ways. But because you're a spiritual leader, even if you're a hairstylist or something like that, it's the way when they're sitting in your chair, it's the way that you speak to them that's very spiritual. The knowledge that you have, that you still have the knowledge. They're just coming to you to sit in your chair because you're talented and gifted, right? With music or with, your with doing hair or nails or their makeup or whatever, but the spirit is still using you and they're flowing through you with the words that you're speaking. They need to hear a word that only you can give them. So spirit is going to lead people into your chair to provide some type of service for them, or spirit is going to lead them whatever it is that you do, right? Okay, if I don't care if you do events, you're gonna have certain people come to your events. People are gonna be led to you, even if you do massage, because your touch is healing. Maybe you don't have a word to say, right? But your touch is very healing. So your massage parlor is gonna be full. This could be literal for somebody, or you get what the message is. It's like you are being spiritually put in a position to lead other people who need your help in some type of way on a spiritual level, not entertainment. Even if entertainment is the way that you get them. Let's say if you are a musician, the words that you're using to speak to sing your song, to rap your song, is a spiritual experience. It's very healing because of the words that you're speaking. Let's say if you instruments only, guitar, drums, or whatever, you give them an experience that it's the spirit that's moving through you when you strumming my pain with his fingers. You get what I'm saying? You're still giving them that experience just through you strumming those strings, just through you beating on those drums, just through you humming and making the sounds that you make with the instruments that you have. People are still getting that spiritual experience from you, and that's you still being in that high spiritual position. Pretty much with this high spiritual position that you're being put into, Spirit is saying, get ready to be seen, pretty much in a bigger way. You could have been being seen in a smaller way previously, like individually, but get ready for the crowds. Because it's time. The revolution will not be televised type of energy. Like, you're going to be doing this. For some of you guys, it will be, like how you show up. Just like me, I'm showing up on a public platform, right? But I also connect with people off of my platform. And it's like, that's not televised. The revolution is happening. The conversations, the people you touch, the kindness that you spread, it's happening. Behind closed doors and in front of people. So whoever you are, be ready for this position, because you are in position, whether you realize it or not. You have enough experience. You have, and you're ready. Spirit is saying you're just ready. Even if it doesn't feel like it, you are ready for this position. So this is the message that needed to come forth for whoever it is, okay? Again, how do you view yourself? Continue to work on how you view yourself, and know that you were put in this, the Spirit put you there. So get comfortable with it, and also get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you may be in front of a lot of people, or people seeing you, or it may be uncomfortable at times. Sometimes people may ask you, get out of your head. People may ask you things. Let's say if you're on a panel, I'm getting a vision of someone on stage and they're on a panel. So you could be a speaker and being invited to speak, and somebody may ask you a question, and to you may be like, dang, I'm in front of all these people, and it's not that you don't know the answer. But Spirit is just wanting you to think and pause before you answer. But to you may feel like, oh, snaps, like I'm freezing up. No, you're not freezing up. Spirit is just allowing the information to come to you within the 10-second pause before you respond. But to you may be in your head thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in front of all these people and I'm just quiet and they just asked me a question. Be okay with the silence. Be okay with being uncomfortable. Being okay with not explaining yourself. Let Spirit move however Spirit move. We are not in this 3D matrix. We are here, but we don't live in this world. We're in this world, but we're not of it. You get what I'm saying? So don't let those moments deter you and make you feel like you're not good enough, or, oh my gosh, I was quiet and, oh my gosh, people are going to think I don't know. No, that was Spirit moving through you, baby. That's that feminine energy. God is a woman. She's feminine. Let her flow. I'm getting Kundalini energy. Let her flow through you. And the people who get it, get it. The people who are for you, and they're not going to bash you, so don't you bash yourself. So again, knowing your self-concept. And that was just an example, but allow it to be applied in any position, right? When you run your race, sometimes we may quote unquote trip and fall over the hurdle. But that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to be in that position and that we're still not a high-ranked person. And if we got the people that's in the matrix sounding like a bunch of when they get on TV and on media, then baby, trust me, you are completely fine because you know you are moved by spirit. So I know these messages will find who they're meant to find. You all can connect with me down below in the description bar, and I will see you all in the next one. I am motivational speaker and high priestess Nayla LATRICE. Peace.